Hey everyone, welcome back to the Witcher School series. As the series slowly approaches its end, today we're diving into a school that some absolutely love and others not so much, the School of the Cat. Of course, we're here to keep it objective as always and take a look at this corner of the Witcher world without any bias. So let's sharpen our blades and take a closer look at the cats. To truly understand the history of the School of the Cat, we need to travel back to its early days, back when witches as a whole were still trying to figure out their purpose in a chaotic world. As I mentioned in previous videos, the Witcher Brotherhood itself was a boiling cauldron of clashing ideals and personalities. This inner turmoil led to factions breaking away, first the School of the Bear, then the School of the Viper, and even the School of the Manticore, each carving their own paths in the continent's history. And yes, the School of the Cat was one of these splinter groups. This fragmentation of the original Witcher Order weakened the core principles that once defined the Witchers, those teachings about their role, purpose, and duty to the continent. With figures like Arnegadd stirring the pot, the once unified Brotherhood fractured, leading to witches who not only hunted monsters, but also embraced a more self-serving, ruthless path. They still wore the medallions and fought like witchers, but their hearts and minds had changed forever. The witchers who would go on to form the School of the Cat had a bold vision, to create the ultimate witchers. Just as the School of the Viper grew obsessed with the thread of the wild hunt, the cats focused on perfecting mutations to push their members beyond the limits of ordinary witchers. When they broke away, they took with them every scrap of knowledge they could: alchemical formulas, experimental notes, old manuscripts, and whatever else they thought might help them in this quest. Leaving behind the fortress of Morgreg, they set out, unaware of the trials that awaited them. Their search for a new home took them far from the mountains between Redania and Caedwin to the far reaches of Nilfgaardian lands. Eventually, they settled in Stygia Castle, a place that would later serve as the hideout for the infamous sorcerer Vilgefortz. This remote, swampy fortress seemed like the perfect base, surrounded by water and isolated from the world. In those early years, the cats forged alliances with the local populace, becoming known as skilled monster hunters and reliable protectors. But the cats couldn't stay out of trouble for long. They started dabbling in politics, acting as spies and assassins, drifting further and further from their monster hunting roots. In their pursuit of the ultimate witcher, they tried to strip emotions from their initiates, experimenting with brutal mutation processes. For some, the changes worked, creating powerful but cold-hearted warriors. For others, the results were madness and uncontrollable rage. Those who failed were locked away, subjected to horrific experiments, their bodies torn apart in the name of progress. One such failed experiment was Gezras, a witcher left for dead after a botched mutation. But Gezras survived, freeing other prisoners and leading a breakout from Stygia Castle. On the run, they found refuge with a band of elves, joining their guerrilla war against humans. The once respected cats became a band of ruthless killers, their reputation forever tainted. After their brutal fall at Stygia, the surviving members of the School of the Cat became wanderers, calling themselves the Din Marv Caravan, which roughly translates to the Dead Nation. This ragtag group of exiles took on any job that came their way: assassinations, bodyguard work, monster hunts, anything to survive. They even joined Elrond's doomed uprising against humanity, a bloody campaign that all but wiped out the young elves of the continent. Their final major chapter came in the 12th century at a tournament in Caedwin. It was here that the School of the Cat met its near-total destruction in a bloody trap set by King Radovid II and his court mage Astrogarus. Caught between the forces of Caedwin and the warriors of the School of the Wolf, the cats were nearly wiped out. The survivors were left shattered, scattered, and without allies, their reputation in ruins. By the time of the games, only a handful of School of the Cat witches remained, living in the shadows, taking whatever work they could find. No one knows if any still roam the continent or if the school has truly gone extinct, their legacy just another forgotten ghost in the dark corners of the world. Alright, that's the rough history of the School of the Cat. Now let's talk about their training methods and unique fighting styles. The School of the Cat emphasized speed and agility, focusing on precise, balanced movements. Their trainees would practice walking on tight ropes with their eyes covered, gradually moving to higher and narrower ropes as their skills improved. Some fell to their deaths or suffered life-changing injuries, but that was the brutal reality of Witcher training. Their armor was designed to enhance mobility without compromising too much on protection, and their weapons were light, swift, and deadly, ideal for quick, precise strikes. Given their long-standing alliance with the elves, many of their blades and gear were crafted by elven smiths known for their artistry and precision. Mentally, School of the Cat witches were unpredictable and often volatile, shaped by their intense, emotion-stripping mutations. They were known to act on impulse, making them difficult to predict even for other witchers. This instability often put them at odds with other witcher schools and the human societies they once protected. Alright, that wraps up the history and training of the School of the Cat. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay sharp and keep your blades oiled. Take care.